We have already defined what is a transducer. A transducer is nothing but it is a device which is converting any physical signal into electrical signal. We discussed many transducers. Now in this class, we are trying to discuss classification of the transducers. First we are discussing primary and secondary transducers. Primary transducer means it directly converts the physical signal into electric signal. Whereas the secondary transducer, first it detects the physical signal and it converts to another form. This another form will be converted to electric signal by using the transducer. So in the secondary transducer, the physical signal is directly not changing to electric signal. Whereas in primary transducer, the physical signal is directly changing to electric signal. That is the difference between the physical signal into electric signal in one step or in two steps. If it is happening in two steps, then it is a secondary transducer. If it is happening in the single step, then it is a primary transducer. The example for the primary transducer is thermistor. So it converts the temperature changes into electric signal. Whereas the secondary transducer, example, if we take the Borden tube for the pressure measurement, if we are taking the Borden tube, this Borden tube, when the pressure is changing, it is giving the output in the form of the displacement. It is not giving electric signal. So Borden tube, when the pressure is changing, it is giving the displacement output. Whereas the LVDT, it is converting this displacement into electric signal. So this is happening in the two steps. That's why we are calling this as a secondary transducer. So the example for the primary transducer is thermistor. We have discussed it. And the example for the secondary transducer is here the LVDT is converting the displacement into electric signal. Now we have active and passive transducers. Active, passive. We know passive elements and active elements. Example, resistor and a capacitor and inductor, they all are passive elements. When it comes to transistor, it is an active element. Similarly here, active source, power source. Power source is an example for active. Here in the active transducers, they does not require external power like sun. They does not require external power to convert into electric signal. The physical signal will be converted to electric signal without requirement of extra source, extra power source. Example, thermocouple, piezoelectric crystal, these are directly changing. Piezoelectric crystal changes the mechanical signal into electric signal. Okay. Now, whereas the passive transducers are resistive transducer, inductive transducer and capacitive transducer. These three are the passive transducers. Okay. Next we are discussing about analog and digital transducers. Analog transducer means this converts the physical signal into analog electric signal. Digital transducer means it converts physical signal into digital electric signal. Sometimes we may use the combination of the analog and digital transducers by the name ADC. Okay, sometimes we may use the combination of the transducers. Next we are discussing about the transducers based on the principle of the operation. A resistive transducer. In this transducer, when we are taking the physical signal, the output electric signal we observe when the physical signal is varying, output electric signal is varying with respect to the resistance. Example, strain gauge or RTD. In the strain gauge, when the displacement is changing, it is trying to change the resistance also. So that's why these transducers are resistive transducers. Inductive transducers, LVDT. So when displacement is changing, accordingly the inductance of LVDT is also changing. That's why these transducers are called as inductive transducers. Next one is capacitive transducers. In these capacitive transducers, when the input physical signal is varying, the capacitance of the transducer, when the transducer is trying to change the capacitance, that's why this is called as capacitive transducers. Example, microphone. When the voice is, my audio signal is changing, according to this sound, the diaphragm vibrates in such a way that the electric signal also changes. Next one is piezoelectric transducer. In this, we use the piezoelectric material property. It converts the mechanical changes into electrical signal changes. And the thermoelectric transducers, we use two different metals, so which are having different temperatures. That a difference in temperature information will be converted into electric signal. Magnetic transducers, tacho generators. Whenever you want to measure the motor speed, it is difficult for us to see how many times it is rotating per minute. We call them as revolutions per minute. We use tacho generators. The device we use for the measurement of the motor speed is tacho generator. So here it is trying to, whenever the revolution is happening, it is trying to measure that revolution with respect to the magnetic information. That's why these transducers, we are calling them as magnetic transducers. Next one is optical transducers. These change the light information into electric signal. Example, photodiodes, phototransistors. Next one is ultrasonic transducers. So based on the ultrasonic waves they work. Accordingly, they will generate the electric signal. Next one is chemical transducers. They convert the chemical reactions into electric signal. Next one is radiation transducers. They convert the radiation information into electric signal. So finally, transducer means it converts into electric signal. We have seen different classifications.